Hello and welcome back to our video tutorial series. My name is Jared Christman, and today I'm going to walk you through creating a personal development plan, or a PDP. So we're back with Andy Ames today. We're going to log in and we'll see his homepage in the Catalytic Coaching online software. We can see here that he's completed his coaching input sheet. He has received a submitted copy of his coaching worksheet, but he hasn't started his personal development plan yet. First, let's check out the coaching input sheet. We'll click on that and we see that the coaching input sheet for 2016 is complete. We can print that as a PDF, save it to our computer, or we can just view it in the online system. So a quick refresher. In our last video, we started filling this form out, but as a coach, I went in and gave Andy a little bit more detailed feedback. So we can see that I've listed 3 strengths: his initiative, his punctuality and timeliness, and his phone demeanor. Each of those is a headline with a little clarification. Here, we've listed areas for improvement. There are also 3 of these: training, working hours, phone skills. And then I made several recommendations for Andy's development. So Andy can log into this system, look at the coaching sheet. It should all be familiar because it was discussed in the coaching meeting. Now, from his home screen, Andy can choose to start his personal development plan. He'll choose to select the current year. And we'll see here that we have to acknowledge receipt of the coaching worksheet. So we say, yes, we have met with our coach. That's why we've received the copy of the coaching worksheet and we are ready to continue with our plan. Now, the CCO system will automatically import things from the coaching worksheet to simplify this process a little bit. Areas for improvement on the coaching worksheet become improvement goals on the personal development plan. So we can see that training and products, working hours, and phone skills have all been imported for us, or in this case, for Andy. We also see a section here called Strength Goal, and below it has imported the 3 things that the coach listed as strengths. So we'll create one goal, at least, for each of our areas for improvement, and we'll create at least one goal focusing on improving a strength. To show how this process works, let's select a goal that we know we can achieve. Let's look at working hours. Andy received the feedback that he's been putting in too many hours. His manager is concerned about him getting burnout, even though his sales are really quite fantastic. So he's going to create an action item for himself to limit working hours for the next 2 weeks to 45. So the goal here is for him to step back a little bit. He wants to receive that feedback, reduce his working hours. Seems good. Completion date for that is going to be 2 weeks out. So we'll check the calendar real quick. And we'll say February 2nd. Okay. Save. So that's one action item. It's a good policy to always come up with more than one action item if you can. And you also want to make sure that your action items are things which are simple, they're measurable, they have a set completion date, and you're really thinking through the process. There are some good suggestions for how to evaluate your action items in the one-page guide on the PDP, and you can find that on the Salesforce site. For now, we see that we have a simple goal, it's got a deadline, it has a set completion date, and this is something that we feel like we can definitely achieve. But let's add a follow-up goal. Let's say through March, we will limit working hours to 55 per week and work no more than 2 weekend days per month when able. Obviously, if there's a crisis or if there's a sales rush, he might have to adjust this a little bit. But Andy's going to try to work 55 hours or less per week. He'll save that. So we have a short-term goal and a longer-term goal for Andy. These action items are things that at the quarterly follow-up with his coach, they'll assess if he successfully completed these action items. They'll discuss how he felt about them and just make sure that achieving these action items is moving him in a positive direction. We'll go through and do the same thing for training and for phone skills. At any time, Andy can move away from the PDP, and so could you with yours, to go back to a previous page, say check on coaching worksheets. Come back here, get suggestions, look at what your coach maybe thought would help you to achieve your goals. And then you can always go back to development plans, edit, and resume the process right where you left off. Again, you can move things around inside of one category. So we'll put the short-term goal first, longer-term goal second. Once I've completed the goals, the action items for each of the areas for improvement, I want to come down here to strengths goal. Now, it's important in the catalytic coaching system to remember that while we're trying to overcome any difficulties in the workplace, we're trying to compensate for our weaknesses, we're also trying to accentuate our strengths. This is really one of the most important ways to achieve continuous improvement. So here on Andy's sheet, we see that his strengths are initiative, punctuality and timeliness, and phone demeanor. So punctuality and timeliness, Andy seems pretty sure that he can continue to be punctual and timely without actually going further in that direction. Phone demeanor, though, is something that he thinks he can improve. So he's going to add an action item, and he's going to set the date for December. So this is going to be a very long-term goal for him. And his action item is to sit with another sales rep for at least 1 hour each month to observe their sales process and discuss sales techniques with other sales reps at least quarterly. So over the course of the year, this is an action item which will be revisited multiple times. Now, if you're a detail-oriented person, you can always set 4 action items, 1 for each quarter, and then you can check them off as you go. Of course, down here at the bottom, If you want to attend trainings, if there are materials that you want to acquire, you can upload files for your coach to see. You can put in references there. When you're done with this, when you have come up with action items for each of your areas for improvement and for one of your strengths, you'll come down here, you'll print a worksheet, and this will come up as a PDF, which you can then save to your computer. And then you can also print a physical copy for yourself. That physical copy is going to help you when you schedule your PDP meeting with your coach. So once you've printed, you can then request a meeting. After the meeting, where you take ownership of the process, explain to your coach what you're going to do to improve and why you think it's a good course of action. Your coach will make any suggestions about the plan, offer some feedback maybe, and then you'll have an opportunity to revise and finally submit the draft to the coach. Once your draft is submitted, the coach can accept it, and that's the plan that you'll act on throughout the following year. After this step is complete, your coach will schedule quarterly follow-ups with you. You'll touch base on the progress on your personal development plan, be able to get more feedback, and these meetings are very important but very brief compared to this first part of the process where we've got our 3 forms and multiple meetings going on. So, personal development plan, not that difficult. There's some helpful data imported, but don't forget, you can navigate away from that plan and go back to your coaching sheet as you fill it out. If you have any questions about the personal development plan or any other part of the catalytic coaching process, don't be afraid to go ahead and ask your coach. Check out our other resources on Salesforce or Catalytic Coaching online, or email Jared Christman, the Career Development Champion with MPay. Any of those will be a viable source for getting answers to your questions. Thanks for watching,